righty, well, welcome to the St. Louis Master Affiliate Training School. It's so exciting to be here, and I want to congratulate all of you guys for taking time to come here this weekend, because you are at an opportunity that will change your life. And let's start by, can we have all those Master Affiliates stand up, all the new Master Affiliates that were up on stage? Can we see you again? And a round of applause for every single one of them. Woohoo! Boy, congratulations. You are in for the ride of your life. It was this month, over 20 years ago, that I first heard about Relive. And I had no idea that a simple conversation at a friend's birthday party would change my family's life the way that it would. At the time, my husband and I were living in the suburbs of Chicago. He was a youth pastor. I had left a middle management career in the computer industry. I was home raising my kids and absolutely loved that. But going from 2 incomes to a youth pastor's salary really changed our finances. And I knew that I was going to have to head back to corporate America. But I desperately wanted to be home with my family. And at that birthday party, this month, over 20 years ago, somebody cared enough to tell me about Relive. And I got started with this business. And I was able to work it around raising my 2 children and being involved with their lives, being involved with ministry and my kids' activities. And this business has given my family a financial security and a financial future that we never would have had as a ministry family. I am so grateful for that. We love being ambassadors. We have traveled to so many places thanks to Relive. They've sent us to places like Rome, Italy, Jamaica, the Bahamas, all over the United States, up to Canada. Just this past April, they sent us on an all-expense-paid trip to Cancun. And thanks to the Relive income, after that trip was over, we were able to bring our kids, and a whole bunch of extended family joined us, and we spent another week in the Riviera Maya. And I'll tell you, I love this Relive lifestyle. When I became a Relive distributor, I was excited. I just loved the stories that I heard. I loved the people that I was meeting. And I was actually already talking to people even before I became a distributor. But once I became a distributor, the first thing that I was taught to do was to make a list of everybody that I knew. And I did it. I started writing down names, and that was my introduction into the first step in the Relive business. And what I learned was what you'll see right here. What is it that causes your business to grow? What is going to build an income for you? It is talking to people who don't know about Relive. Talking to new people. There are 2 kinds of people in this world. There are people who know about Relive, and there are people who don't know about Relive. And I found that my job was to talk to those people who didn't know about Relive, so I did. I talked to my friend Helen. Our kids played together. I talked to my neighbor Judy. We carpooled together. My friend Pam and I, we were in church together. I talked to my parents. I was talking to people that I knew. And what I really didn't realize was that, oh, I have to do the clicking. Sorry about that. What I began to realize was that I was really becoming a Relive gardener. Tina talked earlier about her tomato and her garden. My husband and I love to garden. All the lettuce that we've been eating and the green beans, and we've just been picking our first tomatoes, and the zucchini are coming in. There's a wonderful harvest that's coming in this summer, but none of that would be growing if we had not first planted the seeds in the spring. And your list of names that you write down of people that you know, that is like the seeds in your Relive business. Those seeds, that list of names, is going to lead to people that you'll talk to with Relive, and that is what's going to lead to an income and a huge successful business with Relive. But it starts, this first step is identifying who you're going to talk to. So what we're going to look at is why it's important to talk to people, how we do it, what are some of the categories of people we can talk to, and then we're going to finish up by looking at why and how we help our new distributors to do this. So first of all, why is it important for us to actually physically write those names down? Well, that list is your paycheck. And if you think that you're going to remember all the names of people that you know, you aren't. If you don't write them down, you are going to forget people. So as you think of people, you want to be writing those names down because that will keep you moving forward. And the best place to start, the place that I started, was with people that I knew. And why did it work best that way? Well, when I talked to Judy and Helen and Pam and my parents and other family members and other friends and people from church and people that I knew through my kids, I already had a trust relationship with them, and I didn't have to earn their trust. They already knew that I was a person of character and that they could believe what I was sharing with them. All I had to share with them was my passion, my excitement, and introduce them to the people that were helping me with Relive. So it's great to start with people that we know. So we want to write those names down. So how do we do that? How do we come up with thinking about all the people that we know? First of all, you want to start with people with common connections. Think of all the groups of people that you know. And you guys have a workshop or a workbook, am I correct? You've got a workbook that was handed out? Okay, all right, I'm so excited because you've got some pages in there that you can write names down, and you want to be doing that through the conference. And you want to keep in mind that your list is going to be ongoing. It is a circle. It's not a straight line. You never want to cross names off your list. You're going to have people that are going to tell you no. Over the years, I've had lots of people that have told me no. In fact, the difference between ambassadors and people that aren't ambassadors yet is we have just gotten a lot more no's. And so embrace the no's. Learn to say yes when somebody says no, because every no is going to lead you that much closer to a yes. So keep that in mind. When you hear a no, when somebody says not now or the timing isn't right, every no will lead you that much closer to a yes. Let me give you a perfect example. I got a text yesterday. I had a gal that I had done an appointment with this spring, and she said no. She did not get started. She did not do anything with Relive, and so I moved on. I have continued to talk to people. But yesterday afternoon, I got the coolest text from her asking if I had some time to get together. And I said, sure, I'm in St. Louis. How about Monday? And her text back to me was, I'm ready to get started with Relive. And it was just so exciting to see that. She was a no that is now turning into a yes. So remember that as you are writing those names down, don't cross those names off, because you're going to have a lot of people that are going to come back around. So let's take a look at these pictures. And as you look at the pictures of these different individuals, you are going to think of memory joggers of what do those people make you think of? What groups of people do you know that might be jogged by your memory by looking at those pictures? So let's just think through some examples. Family is the first one. That is the place that I started. For some people, family is great and they're responsive. My dad was excited and he was my very first family member, but boy, I had an awful lot of family members that said no to me. But family's a great place because they know you and they trust you. But think beyond your immediate family. Think beyond brothers or sisters or aunts or uncles or cousins, and go through your whole genealogy of every relative that you can think of that is alive, and make sure you write those names down. There was one aunt that I hadn't talked to about Relive, and she ended up finding out about Relive from my dad, and so I helped my dad to help her get started. But I'll tell you, when she saw me the next time, she wagged her finger at me and she said, you mean you knew about this and you hadn't told me about it? And boy, I'll tell you what, was that ever a reminder that I need to be talking to every single one of my family members. So talk to your family. Neighbors, think about where you live. Are you in a neighborhood? Think through your street. Think through every house on your street. Who do you know? What names of people do you have on your street? In my case, I have talked to Jen, I've talked to Mona, I talked to Joy, I talked to Susan, Larry, and Michelle. I'm in a big neighborhood, though, and I still have people that I haven't met in my neighborhood. So we need to get out and about, find ways to get out and meet people. I love to walk in my neighborhood, run in my neighborhood, take my dog in my neighborhood, and I like to initiate conversations. So work on getting to know people, because neighbors are a wonderful, wonderful place. How about workplace? If you're currently working, who are your coworkers? And what are the names of all of them? All of your coworkers. Write those names down, and not just people that you may currently be working with, but think through any place where you have worked in the past. Go back and trace through every single job that you've had. I am still working on trying to track down some people, sharp people, that I worked with when I was in corporate America. And so think through that workplace as well. How about hobbies? What kind of things do you enjoy doing? For myself, I love to sing. I joined a singing group. That's been a wonderful source and a place where I've been able to find people to talk to. I have a new distributor that I'm working with right now, and he loves going to the gym. That's been a great place. He's so excited about talking to people at the gym and setting appointments with them and letting them hear the hope of Relive. So think about all the different things that you enjoy doing. For me, being a pastor's wife, my church has been an awesome place to talk to people about Relive. And a lot of times I get ministry friends, people that are in ministry that say, gosh, as a pastor's wife, don't you feel uncomfortable talking to people about Relive? Well, I will share with you that I have got hope to bring to them. And I want people to know about the hope that I have. So many, many, many of the people that I've introduced to Relive have come from my church connections as well. But I guarantee you guys, as you think about it, as you really work on thinking of the categories of people you know, and you all have categories, and you have a lot more categories than what I've listed here, but just stretch your imagination and keep thinking, who do I know? And what you want to be thinking about is, who do I know who does not know about Relive? And those names all need to go on that list. And I guarantee you, you will never run out of names to talk to. I have been a distributor for 22 years, and I still have not run out of names of people to talk to. Let me just give you a couple of examples. The day before I left to come here to St. Louis, I received in the mail my quarterly college alumni magazine. So I was thumbing through it, just seeing, did I recognize anybody in there? And I ran across an article about a guy that graduated a year ahead of me, and he and I had worked together on the school newspaper. He was the overall editor, I was a managing editor, and we had worked well together. And when he graduated, I never heard of him again, never really thought about him again, but that article just jogged my mind. I know him. I used to know him years ago. And the article happened to say the city that he lives in and his wife's name, so now I have another person that I've added to my list. So you'll never run out of names. Let me give you another example. I got a phone call yesterday morning, from a gal, and she was a fairly new person that I had put on my list. I had met her through a Bible study that I am doing this summer. I had put her on my list. She was somebody who I didn't think knew about Relive. So I had called her, left a message asking her to call me back. It was some time ago, and we played a little bit of telephone tag back and forth. I hadn't had a chance to connect with her, and she called me yesterday. So I told her where I was, what I was doing. I just shared a little bit about our story, shared a little bit about Relive, offered for her to hear about it. She was very interested in hearing about it, and we are getting together this coming week. So you will never run out of people to talk to. So keep stretching that imagination. And you want to be adding names today. As you are sitting through the rest of this conference, as you hear these wonderful gals that you are going to hear offer the workshops for the rest of the Master Affiliate Training School, you are going to be thinking of people. I have already thought of people that I have put names down in the back of my booklet that Relive gave us. And so you want to be adding names as you think of people, write them down, because that will be your to-do list when you get home from the conference. Those are names of people that you can be calling either here from the conference or when you get home. So make your list, keep it going. Don't ever stop making a list. This is something that you're going to be doing the rest of your Relive business life. And probably the most important thing, guys, is teach your new distributors to do the same thing. Teach them and help them to do a list. When I was taught to do a list, I did it. But how many times, if you say to somebody, make a list of everybody you know, how many times do they actually do it? But no, right? Most people aren't going to do it. They'll say, oh yeah, that's a really good idea, but they won't, for whatever reasons. So if you actually physically do it with your distributor, it's going to make a world of difference. And you're going to see things happen by doing that. So let's look at a few reasons why it is important to actually physically help your distributor to make a list. First of all, it's going to avoid prejudgment. I don't know what it is about our human nature, but we are really good at making decisions for other people, aren't we? We're good at coming up with reasons why maybe they wouldn't be interested, and they're too busy, or they don't have enough money, or they have too much money, or whatever it is. But we think of reasons for people, and all of a sudden we get into what I call analysis paralysis, where we have analyzed and thought so much about that person that we don't talk to them. And it's that prejudgment that we need to learn to get over when we're new to this business. And so when you're working with a new distributor, you're going to be able to help them get over that. And you'll be able to talk them through, and if you hear them saying, well, but I probably wouldn't talk to them right away about Relive, what you can say to them is, let's not think in terms of that. Let's just think in terms of, who do you know? Who do you know? And let's just start writing those names down. I know that my very first master affiliate was a friend whose husband had a very successful business, and I really wouldn't have thought that she would have been interested in the business. But as she learned about Relive, heard the stories, came to events, she got more and more excited, and she ended up becoming my first master affiliate, coming to a Relive conference and getting involved. So you never know. We need to not judge people, and we need to teach our distributors not to prejudge people. Just write all those names down and talk to everybody. Another reason is that it builds the bigger picture for people. There was an article 3 years ago in the New York Times that said that the average person, the average American, knows 600 people. So let's think about this for just a minute. If we know on average 600 people, personally I feel it's probably quite a bit more than that for most of us, but if we know 600 people, every single name on our list is a circle of people that we don't know, 600 people that we don't know. So if we can help our new distributor to understand that every time they are writing down a name, that is opening up a whole center of influence of people to talk to about Relive and people that can learn about Relive. So it builds that bigger picture, and we're going to paint that for our new distributor. Another reason for helping them to make that list and working with them together, it establishes the value of working together. It is the first step in helping somebody to build an income with Relive. And what we're doing is we are modeling to them what they are going to be doing with their other distributors. As they are sponsoring people, as they're working with new people, they are learning through example that they are then going to sit down and they're going to help their new distributors write a list of names of who they're going to talk to. And it builds that relationship. And boy, this is one of my favorite parts of Relive. Bob Montgomery said it so well this morning when he said, when we focus on helping other people, we will get everything that we want. And that is what Relive is all about. It is all about building relationships and building friendships. And when we work together and we go through that first step of helping our new people to write that list and think of people that they know, we are establishing that relationship and building that friendship and showing them that we are going to be working together. And it's a lifetime relationship and a lifetime friendship. And finally, the fifth reason why we want to make sure we're working together with our new distributors is it's going to lead to immediate action. I have a new distributor that I'm working with now back in the Pittsburgh area, and as I began to work with him at doing this, at going over his list and looking at, okay, who do you know? And we talked about all these different areas, different ways that he knew people. I could see that excitement building, and I could see that enthusiasm and passion, and it got him getting on the phone and calling and talk to people and initiating action, and that's what we want. In Relive, we talk about the fact that the first 72 hours are crucial, absolutely crucial. And so we want to get action going, and if we help them to make that list, that is going to happen. So how do we do it? Very simple, guys. This is a very basic step, identifying who to talk to. We want to make sure we've written our list and we're talking to new people, and then we want to help our new distributor schedule a time with them. Ask them, when do you have 30 to 45 minutes for us to sit down and let's just take a look at who you know. You can use the examples that we gave, use the resources that Relive has given you, and you want to make sure you do this as soon as possible. Act as quickly as you can. And what you're going to find is that your new person is going to get started. That excitement is going to build. I remember when I first got started and I was so excited, I call it business-induced insomnia. I was so excited I couldn't even sleep at night. I would wake up in the middle of the night thinking about more people that I wanted to talk to, and that's what's going to happen with your new person. We are in the network marketing business. What is network marketing? What is network marketing? Network marketing is simply telling others about things that we like. And that's what we're doing with Relive. But you know what? We do network marketing every day. We just don't get paid for it. We share recipes. We share movies, good movies that we've gone to. There's a new Mexican restaurant that recently opened in my town. I've told so many people about it, and they've never sent me a check. But the difference is with Relive, when we tell other people about what we like, we happen to get paid for it. So as you are helping your new person build that list, talk to people that they want to share Relive with, you are going to see a lot of excitement. They're going to see that bigger picture. They're going to see the potential of what's going to happen. And they are going to realize that every single person that they know opens the door to lots of other people that those people know. So think of it this way. Think of building that list and writing those names as the seeds. As you have those seeds and you have that list of names and you plant them, and you begin to take those steps of action, you're going to have a huge harvest of lives that are changed because you have shared Relay with others. Have a great day. Let's go get them.